Welcome, everybody. We are going to do the Star Trek Picard Season 2 review. Decided to do it as instead of individual episodes, we're just going to kick it all off. I'm going to review what I thought of it after finishing the series, and we're going to find out, was this worth watching or not? So anyway, let's get on to the review. All right, everybody. Season 2 kicks off after a very lackluster Season 1. Very disappointed in Season 1. Would they do a course correction? It starts off, we get reintroduced to the characters. We can tell it's going to be an alternate timeline. You know, 7 of 9 winds up getting a bit of a makeover, as do quite a few of the characters. So I had hope. And then the wheels kind of fell off right away. In short, we were kind of hoping for this to appear. Ooh, yeah. We had hopes that maybe we would get something this cool. Oh, yeah. What did we wind up getting instead? Yep, that's what we got. Basically, a turd. Yes, if you can't tell already, this was not a good season. It had moments and glimpses of goodness, but the badness far overweighs everything. Patrick Stewart brought a lot of emotional baggage to it, and we get introduced to Q. John Delancey came back, so we start off with our member berries again. And that's basically going to be the theme of this. Star Trek Picard Season 2 was chock full of member berries with no substance, nor was there any good writing hardly involved in this. Alison Pill comes back as Dr. Agnes Girardi. Jerry Ryan does a nice job of playing 7 of 9, although her character in this, they really didn't know what to do with her. They changed it from Season 1, and she played it to the best of her ability, given what she was given. So Jerry did good. Michelle Hurd as Rafi. I like her as an actress. I thought her character just made no sense in anything that was written for her in this. Elnor, again, he was not a good character in Season 1, and they couldn't wait to basically kill him off in Season 2. And for reason, they really didn't do much with him in it. We get introduced to Laris, played by Orla Brady, and she's interesting. They've got some emotional connection, her and Picard do. But it doesn't really get explored. You start off with it, you're like, well, this could be an interesting personal journey. And then it immediately cuts, and you don't see her again until the end of the show. We do get to see Orla, who plays, I think her name was Talon, who's also a Romulan, but a Watcher that's in past Earth. Again, a lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense. So the two of them never actually build a connection, and the connection is actually between Talon and Picard and not Laris. Again, just poor writing. Corey Soon, played by Issa Briones, she makes her return, and again, it did not make a lot of sense. Her character, her writing. Rios comes, and he was one of the high points. Rios' character was good. His story plot was all right, but he made the most of it. Santiago Cabrera did a great job with the character, what he was given. I'm a huge Brent Spiner fan. He played Adam Soon, and unfortunately, his character wasn't written very well, but Brent did the best he could. Whoopi Goldberg, she comes back as Guinan. And then the Guinan that we know. And then there's also a young version we get introduced to, Ido Agaheri. Hope I pronounced it right. Terrible with those names. She plays a very charismatic Guinan, but you never felt it was actually the Guinan that Whoopi Goldberg played. So John Delancey was great for what he was given. Q was written really poorly, as well as was the entire story plot. Convoluted, made no sense. I swear the writers that they get for Star Trek basically pulled up a Wikipedia of Star Trek and goes, oh, Q, we should put him in. Oh, Guinan, we'll put her in. And they just check boxes without actually going back to watch the rich history and be able to incorporate it. Besides a few mannerisms and stuff like that, it was a poorly written series. There was a really great moment at the end for John Delancey and Patrick Stewart. Basically, I swear they were like, I don't know how we're gonna finish this off. John and Patrick said, hey, we'll go ahead and wing this one. And they have this touching, heartfelt moment to round out the series as Q is dying, basically saying, I didn't want to die alone. I didn't want you to die alone. Even gods have their favorites. That was actually a touching moment. It was really good to see the two of them. They hug each other. And it was a good farewell send-off. And if Q really does wind up dying and disappearing into nothingness, as they kind of hinted at, it was really great. That particular moment, that is really the highlight of the entire series. The whole premise behind Q, why he's making Picard do it, it didn't make a lot of sense at all. Penelope Mitchell plays Renee Picard, where if she doesn't go on her mission, it could change the future. The Borg Queen shows up. And again, the entire premise behind the time travel in general is a very difficult thing to write for. But the writers in this don't really understand time travel. They don't know how to incorporate it. And it showed all the way through. Convoluted, just awful, awful writing. A highlight, I guess you could call it, Will Wheaton makes an appearance. And again, they looked and said, oh, Travelers. Will Wheaton had this episode. We'll turn him into a traveler. It was kind of neat. Again, it's just a pure memberberry moment. He disappears as he recruits Corey into becoming a traveler. They go up in a gold transporter to show it's a little bit different than what it is in the Federation. So it was kind of neat that at least we got to see Will Wheaton realize he went and did something. If they're trying to set up a Traveler series, I mean, it already failed. It was kind of cute for a memberberry, but there was nothing to it. It made no sense why Corey would do it. The entire premise behind this. All I'm going to say is this series didn't make a lot of sense. It looked visually nice. I can never complain about the visuals for it, but Star Trek is so much more about the visuals. The battle when it opens up in the series wasn't bad looking. The ships, but we don't get any of the really cool ships until the very end where the Borg Queen appears. This entire premise where there's a galactic event. So Dr. Girardi becomes the Borg Queen throughout the series. Again, didn't really make a lot of sense why this all happened. Instead of communicating, she goes through these back channels, creates this galactic event. She'll only talk to Picard. It's awful. It is awful. It made no sense. And we want to be friends now. So the Borg, we've changed. We want to become members of the Federation so we can guard this gate. Seriously, this may be the worst season of any Star Trek ever. And I've always said, to me, it was Enterprise Season 2. Enterprise had huge roller coasters. Season 2 was, to me, the low point. Season 4 was absolutely amazing and could be one of the best seasons of any Star Trek ever. Yep, this blew it away completely. As much as I don't like Discovery, and I think Discovery has all these same issues, this one put an exclamation point at the end of just how terrible it is. I'm going to give this one a CGC score of a 2.5. This is totally not worth watching. If you're a big Star Trek fan and you just want to see memberberries, go ahead and watch it. Other than that, you're not going to get anything useful out of this. If you're just a plain sci-fi fan, the sci-fi makes no sense in this. This just sucks. I wore this shirt because I always have hope that they're going to wind up doing something great, or at least something passable. This was neither. This was neither great nor passable. This was garbage. All I can say is, yep, don't know what else to say for this. Skip it. I wouldn't watch this. And Alex Kurtzman, they just don't know how to put good Star Trek on. Maybe you guys, some of you liked it. I love to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments below, what you liked, what you didn't like. Maybe you totally disagree and you thought this was phenomenal. I did talk to a couple people who thought it was all right. Maybe you thought it was great. Leave your comments below. I would love to hear it. Anyway, we will talk to you soon, and I appreciate you all joining in. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. Leave your comments below. Thanks again, everybody. Live long and prosper.